Hello, welcome to my channel. My name is Lisa. Today I'm going to be working on a fun, cute little folio made out of 12 by 12 thicker cardstock scrapbook kind of papers. The first two examples I have here are made with scrapbook paper that is double-sided. It involves simple folds, and it's got two tuck spots. This one I ended up putting eyelets in. I was going to say brads. Put eyelets in and attached some elastic so that papers can be put in there. And I do have, again, the pockets in there. Now you can see that this is upside down from how it got folded up, but that would be easily remedied to be fixed by putting some decoration on there. But we're going to try our best to make sure the ones that we do when they flip up are not upside down like those are. Alright, so I got two versions to make. One is using double-sided paper, and the other is using single-sided. And I'm going to show you how you can still make it work with single-sided. So, here is a double-sided scrapbook paper. Now we're going to find my scoreboard, which I have. There it is. I unfortunately do not have a big scoreboard. So I got to do a lot of flips and flops, but if you got a 12 by 12, by all means use it because that'll be much easier. But I just want to show you you can do it without that. Now you probably could also do it without a scoreboard altogether by just measuring and folding how you want. Okay, so the first fold we're going to make is to fold up the pockets that are involved in the inside. So I have decided, and you can kind of see it's bent a little, I am going to lose the words here, but I'm going to fold it up that way, because the only other way to do it meant everything was upside down or backwards like that. So the way I'm going to do that is I'm going to fold this up. So this is a 3-inch pocket, giving me a 9-inch tall thing. So we're going to go up to there. And I probably could have scored it at 3, but it's just as easy to fold it up. I'm like, where's my bone folder? There it is. Like that. Oh, I was going to say, I did see this on Treasure Books, Natasha's Treasure Books. She's the one that did the folio. So I am not inventing the wheel. I just loved it and thought it was great, and show you my take on it. Okay, so that gets folded up there. Now the next thing we're going to do is to create the spine that you can either add eyelets to, or you could actually sew signature in, 3-hole pamphlet stitch or something like that, or just tie ribbon around it. Okay, so to get that, since this is 12 inches across, the center would be 6. And the way that I did that is I just went from the 6, I just went 2 notches to the side, and that's where I scored. I'm not sure exactly what size that is, so it's probably at 5 3/4. And then I would do 2 inches to the 6 this way, so it leaves a 1/2 inch spine. So however you need to do it to get 1/2 inch, but I found the easiest is just to go 2 inches slotted that way, 2 inches that way. If you don't have those dividers, you'd have to figure out where you want to go, but it is 1/4 inch before the 6 and 1/4 inch to the 6. So like I said, I have to flip it around because I do not have a big enough board. So we're going to do that and meet that up there, and 1, 2, and meet that up there. And I'm going to go on this side, and I'm going to do, I could have opened it up, 1, 2, so I'm not going over the pocket twice, but it works until I have it not work by sliding off the thing. All right. So the next score that we're going to do is going to be the scores that are going to go around the outside here for the folding over, just to give it a little bit of strength. So we're going to do those scores right there. Now I am not, I think she did bigger than I did. I think she did 1/2 inch, but I decided to do 3/8 of an inch. So instead of going to the 1/2 inch mark, I went 1 before it, so the 3 notches in, and that's where I ended up doing my score. All right, so we got the top, and now we're going to do the same thing for the side. And we do want to get the pocket because we are going to score that. So I'm going to flip that over and score that. And do the other side. Okay. All right, so we've got the scores. Make sure that this is scored well enough for us to, I don't feel it on that side. Okay, kind of hard going through it if it's doubly thick. All right, so now we got to make some snips. All right, so the first snip we're going to do is the top of the folio, and we're just going to cross that off, just right where the 2 lines of the score meet. We're just going to chop that right off, just to make it easier to fold. Okay, now for this bottom part, we are going to get rid of the outside fold. Now the easiest way to do that is to try to find the fold mark. There we go, you can see a little better on this side. I'm going to cut away the fold mark just so there's no bulk to the fold, and I'm going to just again cut that at a bit of an angle like that. So again, with this, we'll end up cutting it at a bit of an angle, and just to the outside. Okay. Now the next cuts we're going to want to do are going to involve getting rid of the center part so we can make the pocket. All right, and the way that I did that was, all right, can't really see the scores. I should have done those a little bit stronger. Put the scores a little better. There we go. All right, so the way that we're going to do that is we are going to notch. I'm going to put a little mark. You can do a pencil mark. I'm going to do this. I'm going to do it about 1/2 inch from the score. So I'm just going to put it at 6 because it's easier to subtract. So I'm going to put a little mark at the 5.5, and same with that. So you can see that there's the 6 score mark, and then we're going to go at the 1/2 mark. Okay. It might be hard to see, but there is four marks there. 2 I marked, the center, and that. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to cut from my 1/2 inch mark off, and I'm going to angle it to where those 2 meet, just to give me a bit of a pocket. Now, you can eyeball that if you want, if you're good at eyeballing. I tried it once and it was not good. But you can see there was 2 scores. I went to the outside and there it is. So I'm going to flip this back and I'm going to just cut that flap off. Bye-bye flap. All right. Now we're going to do the same thing basically to the top here, but I'm not going to mark it. I'm just going to eyeball that way and that way. I'm going to fold these in, kind of like we did the pockets on the bottom. And I'm going to flip it over and get rid of that piece. Okay. All right, that should be it besides the folding. Pretty simple, right? I think so. I mean, I said I washed it once and I was able to replicate it fairly quickly. Because it's pretty logical how they get folded. All right, so we're going to go ahead and fold the rest of the pieces in. Go ahead and fold this side. And in. Okay. And I don't think I bone folded these down. Now you can see why we cut those at an angle before is because they're not overlapping and not bulky. That one is a little bit overlapping. I'm just gonna, there we go, that's better. Okay. Now we're just gonna glue it together. I'm gonna fold the center parts though before I glue. Give it a nice press. And we'll do that side. And a nice press. So now we have a fun outside cover, we have a fun spine, and we've got some fun insides. Now we're just going to go ahead and glue these down. Now there's two ways you can glue down. You can either put this on the inside and glue this on top for it so that there's more space because you're not gluing that down, or you can glue it this way and make it a little stronger. I like gluing it this way. It makes the pockets tuck a little tighter so stuff doesn't fall out as easily. But that is just a preference. It can go either way. And I am not gluing the pocket down. I am just gluing, come on, glue. I'm just gluing the fold on top of it. And that is going to hold it in enough. So that's gonna, it doesn't come up, it's gonna fold it in enough. So if you want to do it that way, you're gonna be able to get your stuff inside and make it a little bit thicker. So depending on what you want to put in there, that would be the way you want to do it. I like options, right? All right, we're just gonna continue folding this. And once this is folded, I'm going to show you how I did the version where there is white on the inside paper and not double-sided. Pretty similar to this, but makes it a little easier. I truly do not have too much scrapbook paper that's heavier that is double-sided. I said most of my stuff is just single-sided. So. And if a little update, if you follow my channel at all, in a recent video I said how I spent the day at the hospital with my mom who had fallen and broken her arm. So she did go to the doctor today, confirmed it is broken, of course, and she unfortunately has to be in a cast for 8 to 10 weeks, which is never fun. But she's in good spirits, so they're not going to do anything about her nose that broke. She can breathe fine, and aesthetically it's just bruised. It's not like deformed, like, you know, shifted to the side or anything. So yeah. All right, well, there it is. There is the Happy Folio. Like I said, we can put some papers in there and tags, and I'm going to show you a finished one when I'm done that I have filled up with that in a bit. All right, so here is the one that I'm going to do for the two papers. Here is the 12 by 12, and this is the piece that's on the inside. This one is, copy your paper weight, much thinner. This one is a bit thicker for it, and I think with the two together, it will be fine weight-wise. So we're going to do the same thing. I'm just going to figure out which is going to flop up, and I think we'll have that side flop up. We are going to, once again, same thing, go up approximately 3 inches. Okay, and scoreboard. Okay, so if you didn't get a chance to follow the numbers before, this would be a second chance to take a look. So it's a 12-inch thing, so I'm going to find the 6 inches, and I'm going to go 2 notches or 1/4 of an inch to the side, And I'm going to do the same 6 and 2 inches, 1/4 inch to the side, making a 1/2 inch spine. So I'm going to do the same thing on this side just to finish out. Make sure I could have opened this up. Ooh, I'll put a hole in there. I've done that before. There we go. I could have opened it up to do the full length. That would be another option to do. Okay, so next we're going to do the sides that come in. I'm going to start with the top. And not a 1/4 inch, or not a 1/2 inch. I'm going to do 1 notch in. So I'm going to make it 3/8 of an inch. We're going to do that side. And we're going to do that side. Okay, next we're going to do the sides going down. Same spot, 3/8. And we are going to end up doing the pockets because we will need to fold those. I'm going to do the 3/8. Okay, and we'll do this side. 3/8. Now, one of the ones that I did as my practice, I ended up going around all 4 sides of the paper to do the 3/8 when I opened it, and that's kind of why I hesitated to do the 3/8 open it up, because I ended up doing the pocket, and there's no reason to do the pocket unless you have some thin paper and you do want something a little thicker for the pocket, but do not have to do pocket. All right, well that is it, except for if I want to do my notches now. I think I probably could see a little bit better on this side. All right, so I'll put this side notch at 5, so at about 5.5, I'm going to do that, and then got that at 5.5, so I'm going to do that side at 6. So I've got my center mark, and I've got my notches, so I can go in toward there. Okay? All right. Scoreboard is done. It really does not take a long time to do this. It really is a pretty quick process. All right, so we're gonna angle cut the corners off. We're gonna cut the pocket just inside the fold, and then again a little bit of an angle cut. Just gets rid of the bulk if you do the angle cut. Otherwise, if you do it straight, there's a chance when you fold it up, it's going to fold onto itself and be bulky. So you're better off just nipping on the inside. Okay, so I'm going to do this side. I'm going to do the fold part, the part that I did the notch, and I'm going to do my best to angle it straight to the fold, not go too far past it. And do the same for the top. Really is hard to see sometimes on pattern paper, so go to this side, angle, and I'm just going to fold these up so I can get to the center to cut it off. Hopefully you're still hanging out. I do have something at the end to show you the completed project with it filled. So if you want to see that, either fast forward to the end or hang around to see what it looks like. Okay, don't glue it yet, Lisa, you have to fill it in. So, I have taken already my 12 by 12 sheet of paper and I have cut it down already to 8.5 inches. And I'll show you why I did it to 8.5, because when you do that, it's going to be right, it's going to go up to that fold, and it's going to go right to where that is. Since I folded it to approximately 9, and then these folds are just shy of a 1/4 of an inch, or just shy of a 1/2 inch, that's why I made it just shy of the, instead of making it 8 and what would it be, 1 above 1/2, 8 and 5/8. Instead of making it that, I just went 8.5, just to make it simple. But I have not cut the side down, and I wanted to wait until it was folded to make sure I cut it right. So this folded up is approximately 11 1/4. So if I cut this to 11, then it should be okay to fit in there because it folds over. So technically, if you have an 8.5 by 11, which is a regular digital, you can use that to fill it in without cutting it. So I'm going to show you. I had those from my last haul, the Parkland papers that are 8.5 by 11. So I have pulled one of those out, and just want to show you that you can use that as a perfect way to fill that in. So you can either use your 12 by 12s that you've cut, 8.5 by 11, or use one of those. I think I am going to use that one. Yeah, I'm going to use that one. I like that one. A little more weathered. All right, so I just need to chop this down, take 1 inch off. All right, we're going to guesstimate 1 inch is about there. We're good. Okay, that's the way. Wasn't sure if I need to cut a little bit more off. I didn't want to put it away. Okay. So we are going to glue it in. I am going to use my regular glue. There it is. And I'm not too worried about it because, besides the fact that I'm running out of glue, since the edges are folded over and on top, laying on top of it, it really is going to make sure it stays in place. So I do not have to worry too much about that. Just got to make sure I get that in there. And if it's a little crooked, it's okay, which is another good thing because, again, when the stuff gets folded up, the edge will be covered. So I can see it's just a little bit off there. It's a little bit crooked, but you'll never know when that gets folded. Yeah. Okay. This glue is done. Alright, I'm going to glue this. Forgot to close it. There we go. I'm going to glue this together. Now the only other thing I did notice was this right here is there's a little bit of white, and you don't want that to show. Go ahead and throw a little ink on there and just put it in the shadows. You can try to make the paper a little bigger. I just worry that if it is the exact size that you're going to start getting, it's not going to want to fold properly. Gonna have some bumps in the way. glue this. Let's close this glue before I forget. Okay, and there we go. I had forgotten to pre-fold the center. Just to make sure it was in the right spot, but I can still see the fold mark, so I'll go ahead and do it now. Probably should wait until the paper's dry, but you know, impatient me. Okay, so you can see it's still, it has some weight to it, even though it is thinner scrapbook paper on the inside. Still has some weight to it, right? Nice. Yeah, it would make a cute little folio. Stitch it up, or like I said, the eyelets or the string, and there you go. So let me show you my finished one here that I did. All right, so this was, I did this one with the two paper method. This was a white on the inside. And as you can see, I have already added some papers to it. This, I just used a baker's twine to tie it out instead of doing the elastic. So it is, I've got 3 tags in there, and there's still plenty of room for more tags to go in there. But you can see that second different paper that's in there. Hard to tell, but there's a bit of where the ink was, where I did do the ink for the white showing through. Now I did add the lace to the outside because the papers that I put in are a little bit bigger. I didn't want to cut them down too much. And what I put in there is a bunch of the non-digital papers like I used for my last non-digital journal. Added a few new ones. I found that floral color from Barnes & Noble's, the coloring book. So added that in there. That was new. So that's in there. I've got some of the I got a cookbook from those cookbook tags that I have. So I got a few different ones that I didn't have. This is folded up just to have it fit. But as you can see, it's just in there lightly because it's strung in there. They're folded in so they're not too long. But what I am going to do, because quite a few people had reached out to me to say, oh, they really like all those different papers that I used. So what I'm going to do is offer these folio books up. Each one is going to have 15 different papers inside that are just random. So if you are looking for just to build up your stash of random, true ephemera pages that are, some of them are pretty, this one's pretty old. It's from a really old children's book. Some of them are a little bit, like I said, newer, just got that in there. But they're all going to be different. Each one is going to have different pages, but all very similar to the ones that I had in my no digital journal that I just recently finished. I do have a couple tags that are also in the back here. So I'm going to also include at least six pieces of ephemera in the pockets, 3 in the front, 3 in the back. They're also going to be different. I'm going to try to kind of coordinate them with the binder. Like this has the purple in there, purple letters, and the purple bird. This has the purple washi on there, and this has the purple ribbon. I love that little bunny. This is digital's in there. So yeah, so I'm going to offer these. I think I have enough packs to make 8 or 9 sets of these. I don't know if they're all going to be, I think they might all be tied, or maybe I'll put the elastic on there. I haven't quite decided. But they're not going to be sewn in to the folio so that you can take them out and use them how you want to. Or you can, because it does have it in here, you can just use it as it is. As a journal, but I am leaving the option that you'll be able to pull the pages out and use them on your own. But like I said, I have them folded so they're in the journal. You can see how they were sticking out a little bit. So instead of cutting them all down to fit, I decided just to fold some of them in and then you can do with it what you please. So all these other ones, I have to make a few more. I will end up putting the folio in, adding some tags, and going from there. So it's going to be a random shot. I'm not going to list, you know, each one separately. If you like to purchase one, it is going to be random when you get. You might be able to leave a note and say, oh, I really, really want that one. But again, I'm going to have a few more in there that I have not made yet. So, all right. Well, that's going to be it for me. Two things. Some fun folio to make on your own. Excuse me. Fun folio to make on your own. Or take a look at the link in the list in the description for the listing on Etsy for these to be on there. So if you want to get, like I said, just a whole bunch of random papers, yeah, they'll be in there. Okay, if you like the video, a thumbs up would be great. And if you have not subscribed to my channel and want to see future videos, please do so. I've got quite a few ideas still coming up, and some fun projects in the works. So that is going to be it for me today. Thanks so much for everyone that has stopped by, and as usual, I hope you all have a wonderful and creative day. Bye now.